What's going on YouTube? This is Paul 112 over you, and today we're looking at a nice little item. It's the Kenwood KAC-M1804. This is a 4-channel, 400-watt amplifier. You can put this on in your car, 4-wheeler, ATV, golf cart, boat, bicycle, wherever you have not a lot of room, but you want a lot of power to power all your highs and stuff. Now this is not a bass amp. This is more of a highs amp. It's Class D. It's digital. It's basically since it's made for boats and stuff, it has a little bit of marinization into it. It's pretty neat. You'll probably find it hanging up in your store, wherever whatever store you go into. It might probably sit on a hook, or it might be just lined up on a shelf somewhere. Anyway, this average amp averages around This amp averages around $149.95 or so. It's got a 1-year warranty, and that's pretty much it. So let's get this thing out of the box and let's see what it's got a little diagram on the back here in case you're not sure how to hook it up. But let's get everything out of the box here and see what's got going on. All right, looks like got to slide it out this way. Okay, there's nothing else in the box. Set that off to the side. Alright, got here, we got little tray that everything's sitting in here. Lift these up. There's the manual with the warranty card. Always good to read the warranty card and the manual too. First thing we got here, looks like the power cable. Looks like it's got the power, plenty length of it. It's got the remote turn on, all your speaker wires, and power for the amp. Looks like it has a little cover for the marine so you keep water off the plug. Let's see what we got here. We got probably little 3-foot RCAs. One set of those. Oh, excuse me, 2 sets. So it does come with 2 sets of RCAs, about 3 feet long, looks like. Let's see, got 4 mounting screws so you can screw it into something. 2 sets of large wiring straps. So you can, if you need to bundle up the wires, something like that, you can, or maybe use these to mount the amp somewhere. It also comes with 2 teensy tiny cable ties, wire ties, however you want to call them, little, wire organizer strips. Are real tiny, so this has got to be for the wires. They only give you 2, so make good use of them. That's it for that little pouch. Got right here a little shipping styrofoam. Here's the actual amp, and there's nothing else but the bottom styrofoam. So that's it for this. I'm gonna set this off to the side. And we got this here, the little baggie the amp comes in. And set that off to the side. And here's the amp. It's not very big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in up close to it with the camera, and then we'll start making measurements and show you all the options you got on this amp. Alright, I got the amp a little bit closer here. I'm going to use my Nito stainless steel measuring utensil. Let's measure the length of it here. We got, let's lay down flat this way, make it a little easier. From end to end, from the end of the screw holes, it's about 6.5 inches from here to here. I don't know if you can see that. Right here is the end right there. So I put this over here on this end. It's pretty close to, well, probably 6 1/4. So probably 6 1/4 inches long. For tallness, I don't know if you can see that. Let me scoot that over. There we go. Tallness looks like it's about 3 and probably 3/8 tall, from here to here. So it's 6 1/4 by 3 3/8. Now for the depth of it, or the thickness, girth, however you call it, looks like we got probably 1 3/8 as well, if I'm reading this right, or somewhere pretty close to that. So it's 6 1/4 by 1 3/8 by 3 3/8 this way. So it's real small. As you can see, it's You know, it's almost as big as my hand. If you have a really thick wallet, you know, something like that, or an old tiny romance novel. Alright, that's enough of the measurements. Let's look at all the stuff on this part of it. All we have here on this side is a 15-amp fuse and the power plug that, if I can get it over here, that this plugs into. You know, just, you know, plugs into, let's see if we get this right. Like so. This plugs in, that's all it does. Just, that's nothing else. There's no, I can get it unplugged. There's no other switches or anything on this side. So I flip it around, nothing here. I flip it around, nothing here. And I flip it around on the other side. All we have here is just a set of front and rear RCAs. These are inputs for the amp. As you can notice, there's no screws or anything like that. So I'm going to flip it on the bottom here, and there's no screws, there's no adjustments, no gains. So it's pretty much full power all the time. So whatever signal you have going in, you have that signal coming out the backside. So if you have trash going in, trash is going to come out. And so there's no adjustments. It's just plug and play pretty much. Wire it up, plug it in, it should start playing right off the bat. It does have a remote turn on, so you turn your radio on, it'll turn the amp on. It does have what's called a signal sensing, so that way in case you don't have an option for switch power, when the amp reads a signal, it'll start playing. It also has high level inputs, which is probably part of the harness here. And somewhere in there. But other than that, that's pretty much all the amp. It's a 400 watt 4-channel amp. It's about 90 watts a channel, max power at 2 ohms or 45 watts at 4 ohms, per channel. And it's pretty neat. You can put it in a lot of places. Like I said, fits in all kinds of places, ice sheds, boats. If you have like no room whatsoever, but you want a little small amp, this is probably gonna be the amp right here for you. And at 149 at 400 watts, it's not too bad. All right, we got it all back in the box here. It's for the price and the size, and if you have like no room whatsoever to stick stuff in, this might be probably the best amp for you. But the only thing that the amp is lacking is adjustments, hertz controls, gain controls. So like I said earlier, it's pretty much just full power, wide open. It's just, this of course controlled by the volume of whatever you're supplying to put the signal into. And since the lack of controls for sound quality and stuff, if you have trash sound going into it, it's going to amplify that, and you'll have louder trash sound output. But just make sure you have good quality signal going into it, and you should have some decent sound coming out of it. For $149, 1-year warranty, the Kenwood KAC-M1804. It's a pretty decent amp. I appreciate y'all watching. This is Paul with 12 Volt Review, and y'all have a superb day, and please subscribe.